Hey, how's it going? I'm Chris Atkins. I'm here for the Module 7 Discussion 4, Chapter 8 question review, and where we're going to be talking about the Hockaday case and using Chapter 8's information to answer 5 questions. So, using the concepts from this week's chapter, describes the primary problems to be solved in the Hockaday case. So, the primary problems to be solved, there was an issue with decision making, problem solving, communication competency, and technical competency as far as the software was concerned. There was a major issue with brainstorming. There was a major issue with the fact-finding and evaluation skills, and there was, just to begin, the beginning goal was to improve the customer service during the peak hours. They improve the workload balance, improve customer service response times, and utilize outstanding individuals, in which almost none of those got achieved off the bat. So, number 2, describe the choices Jill had for problem solving and decision making processes. Make sure you apply Chapter 8 to your response. So, Jill had a number of options here to make her decisions. She could have used the individual approach, which was she made the decision. The leader made decision, which was a leader of the group. In this case, Mary being the leader at the time, she could have made the decision there. Majority rule, which is 50% or more, that obviously didn't get used. The powerful minority decision, which is the process for decision making occurring when a group membership is characterized by an unequal distribution of power among members. She could use the consensus method, which is a decision making that results in members agreeing on what's best for the supporting, or what's best for supporting group decisions. And out of all those, I feel that the best option here, and I think there was more of a, not consensus, but with Jill reverting back to Ruggiero at times, I think that there was more of a power minority decision. Almost maybe a leader-made decision as far as where things went from a certain point to a certain point. Number 3, which of the problem process discussed in Chapter 8 should Jill consider? Why? I feel that Jill should have considered, being that the groups were pulled on virtual teams from different locations, they weren't meeting, and there was even problems getting them all convened. I think that there should have been more of a leader-made decision, that Ruggiero should have had more trust in Jill to make some decisions, even though that there was a software issue and the problem-solving process didn't really get to the point where they were resolving anything. I think the leader-made decision there should have been made. I think that once the leader was selected and that spot was reserved for whoever was in charge, and that situation was Mary, I think that delegation should have been put down to where it should have been to get these problems solved. Question 4. According to the text, what are the skills needed for problem-solving decision-making at Hockaday? So skills needed, let's see. Skills needed is interaction process skills, which are skills based on understanding of the communication processes and awareness of individual predispositions, strategies, tactics, and a variety of circumstances, and knowledge, sensitivity for decision making and problem solving, which is basically an understanding of people's stances and where they stood on things. It was pointed out that Brian and Martin and other people had reservations about working with people that they weren't really connected to. So understanding that where they're coming from, even Francois with wanting to take charge at a certain point, you have to understand there might have been a cultural situation there. Fact-finding and evaluation skills, which are skills that assist in the discovery and criticism of information used in the problem and decision making. So knowing what's actual fact and what's actual fiction as far as the numbers, or even with the software situations, knowing the correct information as far as what's being reported, not just on local media, it's a lot easier to get misunderstood or misinformed, especially when there's a lot of finger pointing going on. So using those skills makes it a whole lot easier to make a sound and correct decision. Number 5, what else from this week's chapter should be considered for and applied to this case? I think that there was a variety of information as far as what should be considered when these problem-solving skills should have been applied in the Hockaday case. Relevancy, plausibility, evaluation skills should have been used better. There should have been enough time, and I get it that this was kind of a sensitive situation, but there should have been enough time for these leaders and these competent workers to get to a sound and acceptable decision, even if it wasn't just, even if everyone didn't agree. I think that there should have been better skills used. I also feel that the technology competencies, as far as knowing that there should have been a little bit more attention placed to the media and what's being reported. I think that their second go around with the presidential visit helped their growth and their approach as far as being able to make a sound decision and having a backup plan in place just in case things do go wrong. So with that is my discussion for Chapter 8 discussion. Thank you for watching, and have a nice week, guys.